We're here with Emory head baseball coach Mike Twardoski. Just a few weeks before the start of the season, and coach had a couple weeks now to get the team back out there after winter break. Some good weather too, but talk about how practice has gone so far.
It's been great. It's been guys are very excited about being down in the field. They're a little too anxious to get started. We have a lot of things to take care of, but mostly excited about getting ready for a season that I think we're going to do pretty well.
Well, you know, kind of not to bring up the past here, but last time you guys finished second in the World Series, 2007, like you guys did last year, it took a little bit to get back there. Is that a message that you send to the team this year, saying, hey, you know, you got to work for it, it's not going to come naturally necessarily?
It was actually the first practice back that in the fall that I talked to them about 2007 and 2008 not making regionals with a very good team. A lot of times you start looking at banners, you start looking at accomplishments, and you say, man, I'm good. Well, some of these freshmen, or all these freshmen, they haven't done anything yet for this team. So we have to really guard against last year's team and know what it took. I mean, the hard work it took for the last year's team to not only get there, but get back to a regional. So saying that, how hard we've worked, not only in the spring, but in the fall, dictates that they understand that, and the leadership on this team is what I'm really falling back on, knowing what it's going to take for this year to be successful.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this year's team and start with the pitching staff, I guess. You're returning most of the staff. I think only 2 pitchers that appeared in the World Series aren't returning. So obviously I'd assume you think that's going to be a strength of the team this year.
Sure. It's a definite strength. Experience, there's no... You need experience to be a very, very good team, and we have that. Connor Dillman, as many innings as he's had for us throughout his career, and then 2 freshmen coming in at number 2 and number 3, but 2 freshmen with a lot of innings last year, and then to come in with an explosive closer, so you know is going to do quite well for us. And then mixing in some very, very good pitchers midweek. You know, helping us out in conference, helping us out in tournaments, and to win regionals, to get to the Ultimate World Series, you have to have a staff. And so the experience of the staff is really a strength on this team.
You know, offensively for you guys, you lose a lot of pieces, but you bring back a lot as well, and kind of, you know, led by the outfield there, the duo of Brett Lake and Wes Peacock. You know, Brett obviously All-American last year, but you know, Wes got probably overlooked a little bit because he was sitting behind Brett, but he had one of the best offensive seasons in school history as well.
By all means, and I told Wes at the end of the year, you know, the unsung hero, him and Dillman. I mean, Dillman is a kid that had 1 loss last year, and nobody talked about him. When you had Jared Welch as a Gold Glove, and you have the accomplishments and the accolades of a Brett Lake, you forget the other guys that had an incredible year. And Connor, you know, was an All-American for us. That, you know, just because Brett was an All-American couldn't have achieved that. And same thing with Wes. I mean, Wes, you know, the amount of hits that he had, the stolen bases, the great defense. I mean, the center fielder that played as well as he did. You know, he too was an All-American, but you're kind of overshined by a Brett Blake, the great year that he had. But yeah, there are going to be 2 mainstays in not only in the outfield, but in the middle of the lineup this year.
You also return a lot of offense to the corner infield positions as well. Third base, Phil Maldari, first base, Jordan Selbach, both mid-300 hitters last year, so that's going to be a big boost for you as well.
Oh yeah, on-base percentage is always, you know, something that we've been known for, and you know, Jordan, you know, Selbach not only will get the hits, but he'll get the walks for us, and we're going to need. I mean, we might put Phil in the 4-hole this year, and as a sophomore, so you know he's going to have to drive in the runs. But you know, we're going to need, you know, a Dylan Eisner, you know, to come to have a good year for us. We're going to need a Phil Maldari this year that we didn't know. You know, Phil was going to have the year that he had, but he did, and to be able to work up. And be a great team, you're going to have somebody, you know, come out of the woodwork. Chris Young behind the plate for us, you know, or somebody that other outfielder to have a great year for us. So it's exciting. I'm a little anxious to see some pieces put together, but overall, I think the year is going to be a very, very good year for us.
You know, Coach, scheduling is always I don't want to say difficult, but it's always a hard schedule that you end up putting together by the end of the year. But this year in particular, I think, you know, you guys are going to have kind of a tougher schedule than usual just because the South region is so loaded, and the UAA is going to be real tough this year too. Talk a little bit about that. You know,
well,
the strength of schedule.
Every year I meet with our athletic director, and he says, "Why are we playing such a tough schedule?" And I said, "Go ahead, you try it." You know, as good as the teams are in the South region, we want to play a tough schedule because at the end of the year, we're in all about nothing. You know, and playing the North Georgias and playing some of the better teams. When we hear about great teams in the regionals and World Series and at UAAs. You know, we're in awe of no situation, and so that's why you want to play a tough schedule. But, you know, it is daunting to look and to see, you know, game after game after game, and not having that game to say, okay, we could work that, you know, fifth starter in there. We're going to have to fight with our top of the line kids, and hopefully some kids are going to, like we talked about, come out and prove that they're going to be able to handle that competition.
Coach, thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck for the rest of practice and the upcoming season.
Okay, thank you.